Hello, Rare Elvis Photos. I want to take some time to read some comments here and respond to some comments from one of the latest videos that I put out on the channel. At Krishnagosh 2114 says, no man or woman has a good enough memory to be a successful liar. Priscilla is no exception. Sounds like maybe a defense of Priscilla there. I'm not sure how to read that one, but thanks for your comment. At Jane B. Hardwash 687, this woman is sick in the head. She is a habitual liar, a pathological liar. She really needs psychiatric help. A liar has to have a good memory. This is something she doesn't have. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Dear sir, this woman is a slime ball of the lowest of the lowest. Nothing she says is the truth. She has spun her web of lies for so long that she does not know how to tell the truth. All she knows how to do is try to destroy Elvis's legacy, I believe is what user-WG5CG9YU2K is saying. All right, so at my Jesus, Elvis cheated on Priscilla also, and Linda Thompson said that he cheated on her repeatedly. Elvis hurt people. Linda Thompson said that he would apologize, but he continued cheating, and I don't know what the rest of it says. Maybe she left or she was unhappy, but that's a good point. But also, Priscilla admitted that she cheated on Elvis first in the marriage, and she really didn't try. She got married for the money, for the stardom, for the fame, and for the check that was going to happen permanently for the rest of her life, in my opinion. At Chris Kincaid 9045, she's just a liar. Can say things no one can say if they're true. Yes, we know she threw herself at Elvis. Even when he went back to America, she was the one who kept writing Elvis, not the other way around. That's true. Elvis didn't really pay her much mind. At Elizabeth Kusi, 2718, or Kusky, I totally agree that she was and is milking his name for money. She manipulated her daughter, Lisa, and started a fight with her granddaughter. She even wants her son, Navarone, to be buried at Graceland. Well, I hope there's no reality in life and in the future that will happen. Never liked her, says Angela Chape 3390. Never trusted a word that came out of her mouth. Gold digger. All right. She's disgusting. Terry Gattis 7069. So gold digger and disgusting seems to be a pretty common theme here in these comments. Elvis fans are speaking out. Little me 3597 says, I believe you, sir. Priscilla is such a manipulator. She really does manipulate the situation, doesn't she? That's a good point and a good opinion. At Louise Holden 906, I never believed anything that she said. I believe that she took him for a lot and wanted to hurt him. She was jealous when Elvis and Anne Margaret were filming and seeing each other. He hurt her after losing his mother. I know he adored his daughter and all his fans. She has her own money. Why is she still collecting from Elvis's estate? Graceland was Presley home and should remain that way for fans to come and see. I've been a fan since I was 5 years old. I came so close and I really want to visit sometime. Well, I hope you make it there. At Kathy Poidvin, 3328 or 3238, Elvis said me she made him look like such a horrible person, but yet she made herself look all sweet and innocent. What a bunch of bull. I hope one day it all hits the fan. Yeah, why else would her own daughter cut her out? That's true. At Gail Allen 7790, Priscilla and her parents are grifters. Yeah, that's what it appears like to me too. Really, including Priscilla's father asking for a loan to start some sort of a business in the late 70s, after Priscilla had already taken Elvis for all of his money. At Isaac Maskey 468, wish she told the truth about Jesse. Even today, she can't explain the DNA test that's out there about him. Well, there's this idea, Isaac, and for everybody else, that Jesse Guerin is still alive. So that's what the comment's about. The comment was hard to digest, like the name. But I appreciate your opinion, and you certainly have a right to ask what you want to ask. At Victoria, she's made money from him, more or less, since she's met him. Trollop. No, I like that comment better than the last. At Anita66608, a lot of pukies about Priscilla. At User, Priscilla said in a different interview, she said she met Elvis at a party when she was with her father, so that's two different tales. I'll have to look for that interview. I don't know if I remember that one, but I don't disagree with you. It may be out there. At Lynn Schrader, Curry Grant was a predator. No, I agree on that. I agree with that. And she didn't make him pay because he was broke. He really wasn't that broke. Period. Nothing more to the story. You are a fool. Well, I appreciate your opinion. Unfortunately, I think Priscilla's the fool. even if she happened to make 50 million bucks off of Elvis and her daughter. Lachette8533 says the title Child Bride is completely inaccurate. She was never married as a child. I've always admired Priscilla, but the more I learn about her, the more my loyalty wavers. I'm sad about many things regarding to the relationship or related. I still believe that we will never know what was truly going on between the two of them. Only Elvis and Priscilla know the truth. I appreciate your comment there. Yeah, I mean, I think that Elvis found out that she wasn't exactly who he thought she was, and she decided she didn't want to pretend to be a certain way anymore. Um, that's why the relationship didn't work out. That's one of the main reasons, I'm sure. At Brenda Boer, I wonder what Elvis would think of her now. You know that he would be disgusted by her. From all I've heard, Elvis was with so many virgins that I think Elvis knew that she wasn't pure. But between her dad and Parker threatening Elvis, he had no choice but to marry her. I have heard so many untruths from Priscilla that I don't believe what she says. Curry passed the lie detector's test more than once, so he must be telling the truth. She wouldn't have paid Curry money if there was no truth to Curry and Priscilla making out. The only thing that Elvis got out of the marriage was Lisa Marie. Elvis loved Lisa Marie with all of his heart. Sorry. Um, well, good comment there. Yeah, I don't think I mean, Curry. I guess combined with the fact that Priscilla was found to be deceptive in all of her answers, except the one that made sense that she was in Germany or something, some truthful statement that there's no way she could lie about that. That just tells me that there was more to the story than Priscilla wants to be known. Um, user dash ro1 uo. Okay. Anyways, yeah. Okay. So I'm not really sure what that means. Something about Stella's lawyers messing her over. What lawyers? I'm hallucinating. Okay. And then what you doing, Eric? I'm hallucinating. No idea. Um, Maybe you can come back on, user, and let us know what you were meaning by those comments. Okay, so at Jamie Jam Jar, I couldn't look at her talking. She looked cold. Yeah, Priscilla's always seemed to be a cold fish to me. Just a calculating, cold, unfeeling, um, put on voice. Hello, my name is Priscilla. Anyways, I couldn't imitate it if I tried, but um, I think she tried to be Deborah Paget. She tried to be Anne Margaret, and I don't know. I liked her at one point in time, but after I found out so much stuff that I found out watching her for years, there's not much positivity about her. I think she's better to animals than she is to humans. So maybe, that's one good side of her. At Anna Maria Facciano, 1688, when Elvis, and I answered this comment on the last video, Anna. Basically, that she actually moved to Graceland when she was 17, a couple months shy of 18, and supposedly she didn't move into Graceland until she was 18 in May of 63. She did visit the States in 62, like you said there, but they went to Las Vegas or LA or something. Okay, so at Claire Lee 7054, she wants everything from Presley Foundation. Well, she's not getting it. Go Riley, says Claire Lee 7054. Good comment. And then she follows it up with her name is not Presley. She remarried. Now, she didn't remarry legally as far as I know. I think she did refer to Marco as her husband in some documents. Probably common law is probably what that is. She would not want to lose that last name of Presley. Not that she really truly has it or deserves it, but that's my opinion. At Lulu QW8XY, good video. Thank you. Well, I appreciate you. And I'm glad you enjoyed the video. Make sure you come back on and talk some more. And, there's a lot of people that are answering other people's comments on here as well. At Fasting Star Chanel number 5, she cheated first, not as in the great movie. Fool, now she's trying to rob her grandkids of their legacy. Get a freaking job, Priscilla. Thank you. You're welcome. Appreciate your making that comment there. Taking any money at all from the estate is robbing her grandkids. She's not rightfully owed anything, but Riley paid her to go away, in a sense. Paid her to drop it. Delilah says, didn't Priscilla just turn 80 or 81? Not many to go. She might as well kiss the idea that her son will be good as Elvis. No one will, and he's far from it. Yeah, I don't feel like he's very talented, but at the same time, it's not his fault being born to her. Delilah also says, I don't believe her. If she would have just told the truth, he never wanted to marry her. She was scorned. She planned on big money. Elvis had saw this, and he never loved her, only as his daughter's mother. I think he loved the idea of Priscilla, and I think that and it was probably pretty sad and disappointing when she turned out to be different than she pretended to be, different than what Curry had groomed her to be, um, which got her in with Elvis. It's like fraud. At Christine Bachor, my comment is no comment. Okay, all right. So, I'm not sure if you're on Priscilla's side or Elvis's side, but glad you came on here. At Gail Buchaman, I don't know. She is such a liar. I'll just say it, Gail. Thanks for coming on. At Leadhead17, just grubbing off his name all her life after only 5 years of marriage. Never liked how she treated Lisa either. What a lying gold digger. That is a theme here. At Kimberly Stankiewicz, I think it is, Stankiewicz. At Priscilla, anytime Priscilla opens her mouth, she is lying. Her and her family targeted Elvis because they knew that Elvis just lost his mother and he was grieving. They wanted her to get money and be famous. I think that's a very truthful statement. I agree with your opinion. Kimberly, thanks for coming on. At Gina Faracini, 9375, bless Priscilla, just let it be, let it go. Priscilla is so beautiful. Well, I appreciate your comment. And I agree that Priscilla was a beautiful woman. Of course, trying to save money with that plastic surgery and really botched her face up. So I don't know if I would agree anymore. But that being said, I like it when people age gracefully, and I don't think she has. I think she's just too much plastic surgery. But that's just my opinion. At Guitar Wizard 1833, as with most women, there is one that word describes her cunning. Well, Guitar Wizard, I think you're wrong on that opinion. I think there's men and women that are cunning there. So, and I agree with you on Priscilla's point, though. At Cheryl Wintle 7497, she's a real piece of work. Did she ever really care? Poor guy. Yeah, I agree. Poor Elvis. At Cynthia Williams 737, the real truth is they married and she became pregnant right away. And after she had Lisa Marie, Elvis didn't want to have anything to do with a woman who had a baby. He had a Madonna complex. And yes, he still loved Priscilla and did not want the divorce at all. It was nothing Priscilla ever did wrong. No, that's not true. Priscilla cheated on Elvis. She admitted it. That destroyed the marriage. And, Elvis had affairs with women that had babies. So I think that point is driven home by what Priscilla wrote in the book, and then also what the woman that claimed that she had Elvis's baby and had an abortion claimed about it. So I don't like both of those sources, in my opinion. At user VG5ZRH4HE6R, Priscilla, you can't believe nothing. Nothing. She is true. I don't think you mean that she's true, but she's out for herself and nobody else. So can't believe anything. Nothing's true. Is probably what they're trying to write. At Sophia R6996, I love your channel. You tell the truth. Priscilla's a liar. Thanks for coming on, Sophia, and another great comment. Okay, so Priscilla sunk her claws into Elvis at 14, and he was never able to shake her off. She destroyed Elvis and Lisa, both to this day, and she's still living off his name. It's infuriating and sad. Hashtag Priscilla is a liar. Yeah, Priscilla, she gets caught telling more untruths and changing her story more often than I know of anybody. So thanks for coming on here. At AJ and a bunch of letters. More haters again. Don't you get it? When people are interviewed, they are under pressure and they say wrong things. This wasn't an interview with a million people watching. This was her sitting down having a conversation. Anyways, no different than a job interview. Sometimes you don't explain yourself well as you should, but it doesn't explain how she's wrong in every comment. She's shown to be deceptive. I can't believe people are having a go at her for being human, making mistakes when interviewed. I do it all the time, and I'm not doing it deliberately. How many people clam up when they're making a speech? They write all the words rehearsed and have it all forgotten. Elvis used to slip up. Was he also deliberately lying to? I don't remember anything about Elvis slipping up. But as for Priscilla, don't you see how cool, calm, and cold-fished and collected she is when she speaks? She has no problem being interviewed and talking, in my opinion. She has a problem with the truth. At user something, her father said Elvis leave Priscilla alone, stay in the army, and he said if you leave the army, you have to take Priscilla, and it will not work out, and it didn't do it. Also said Priscilla was a ticket out of the army. So I don't think he was even a member of the army. I think the father was in the Air Force. At user BR9DK as well. Again, Scientology member brainwashed, destroyed the family, slandered the name, ruined reputation, job, finance. Yeah, I mean, I think Scientology is not a good organization in my opinion. Good comment at Karen Palmer. Um, I think she's so angry that he didn't want to have a real genuine family with her and Lisa Marie, that she lost her mind. I think she's got mental problems. I think she has mental problems too. But Elvis did want to have a family. He struggled with the whole idea of marriage, and I think was forced into it, and then really didn't want to be with her after he was married when she was pregnant. But once Lisa came, I think he tried to be a father and a wife, and she just ruined it. Karen also says, I believe she wants notoriety. I think so too. I think that she might even say these untruths on purpose to get everybody worked up, because she's got a power trip, in my opinion. At Corey Hodge, 3770, I think she was arranged from the beginning. It wasn't love, she was after his money. Appreciate that, Corey. And Nancy Baldwin, Prissy Pants, lies like a dog. And I did find out she's not supposed to keep the Presley name. Okay. She was supposed to change it after she divorced. Elvis is in the papers. She's in the money, you know what. She's a money, you know what. Yeah. Yeah, Nancy, I think that it was, I don't know if it was actually written in the papers, but she used Boyo, or whatever her last name was, after the divorce. And she didn't use Presley again until Elvis died. Maxie 1969-9 says she and her mother groomed him. The word gets used against Elvis, but he was manipulated into this relationship, and she's been manipulating the story the whole way. Yeah, I agree there. How can anyone not see through her, says user PZ again? And I know, I get it. At Elvis Fangirl 1993, she lies so much and can't keep her story straight. Have you ever listened to the Mike Stone interviews? I have. And we'll talk about that later on, but I'm glad you watched it as well. I love that you do this. Well, thank you, Elvis Fangirl. Appreciate you. At Louisa, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that without possibly getting it wrong, but Louisa, how about that? Wasn't the first time she met Elvis when he was playing piano in a building with his entourage and she walked in? No, every account I've always heard is at that USO club. But I appreciate your comment. I do not believe that Elvis died when they said he did in 77, said Diana Darrell. Have never believed one word coming from Priscilla pertaining to Elvis or anyone else she decides to mention. Priscilla didn't even care for her own daughter, greedy and selfish. I agree with that. I think she's greedy and selfish myself. At Rocksmith, Elvis wasn't faithful to her. LMAO, give me a break. Well, he wasn't faithful during their dating period, but I don't know if that was really between you and me. I mean, she would have been a complete fool to think that he was not with other women. And maybe she was a complete fool. I don't know. Lawrence says people give her too much attention. If people would just ignore her, maybe she would pursue spiritual growth, drop her materialism, vainglory, and attention seeking. Perhaps use her wealth she gained from her husband and daughter and give it to the poor. Seek the kingdom of God. She's not getting younger. No matter how much plastic surgery she gets, she puts herself out there. Good point there. Peggy McClinic says, I knew she was a list and after his fame and fortune. It angers me that she believes she should be buried at Graceland. I feel bad that Elvis, because he passed up on the chance for true love with Anne Margaret. Appreciate that comment. User said she put Elvis down lots of times, many years, making no fans. Definitely not a pedo, but think part of her love him in the end, but limelight her end. So I get what you're saying there. Appreciate your comment. At Rice529, very simple that Priscilla Biot is a young girl at age-wise, but body-wise and her brain cells she is and looks much older than 18. Her fans like Priscilla Biot because they all have the same vices as her. Birds of a feather flock together. Once a liar, always a liar. That is what you are, Priscilla Biot. Amen. Well, appreciate your comment there. Mike Harrison says bad video. VIDIO. It's a VIDEO, Mike Harrison. But thank you so much. Appreciate your time. At Sippin' That T8064, I find it funny people always bring up her affairs, but Elvis cheated the entire relationship. The way I see it, he got what he had coming. At the same time, I do kind of wish she would go away as they were divorced. It's a good point there about being divorced. Yeah, I mean, people do bring up her affair, but I mean, everybody's aware of Elvis. The thing is, she's the one that's continuing to pretend otherwise, and I think that's why people get so upset at her. Appreciate you being here. At Jeem, HW6QN, Priscilla can't tell the truth, even if her life depended on it. She is full of Dookie. Elvis was nuts to marry her. Why didn't he marry Anne Margaret? Yeah, I feel the same way. Anne Margaret, or I don't know. Anita Wood. listening to her the tape, she was so annoying sounded. I just don't think they had a good relationship towards the end. I believe Priscilla Elvis was the adult, and that situation happened today. People would be going to jail. Shameful trying to blame a young kid who was groomed by a bunch of grown adults. Now, I believe she was groomed by her parents, but when you're an adult, which is what we're talking about now, you've got the ability to tell the truth and not be a user, and she's a user, in my opinion. At whatever this, mine, Laradney, Priscilla was a girl then. She's a senior now. Don't hold her foolishness against her. All girls would have done what she did. Priscilla was starstruck. Her daughter is deceased. Stop this disrespectful news. Her daughter is dead. Her grandson's dead. And I believe that her daughter and her grandson's dead partially because of who Priscilla is. That's my opinion. She raised Lisa. In fact, she didn't raise Lisa. What she did was she pawned her off. And the grandson had all the pressures too. Anyways, at Rhonda Danielle Borak, not suspicious. I think Elvis had his scouts out for young girls. Well, you're entitled to your opinion there. And at Lid Wayno I-9000, Elvis has always loved her. I don't know. What do you think about that, Elvis fans? At Madeline Forsman, Priscilla saved Elvis. Okay. He held her as a kept woman for 9 years until they got married. She was not allowed to have intercourse with him while he messed around. This is not right. Elvis was broke when he passed. Priscilla wanted the American people to have access to his home, Graceland. And thanks to her business skills, she managed to make it work. She was the mother to his only child, so she'll be quiet, you unfair people. Well, you're entitled to your opinion. Most people see it a different way, though. She's not a very astute businesswoman. She's failed in everything she's done besides Graceland, and she wasn't the one that came up with the idea. They just used her face. At Joelman, I believe her 100% here. She is a young, very shy girl from a respectable family, all alone in a new country. Please, she's not selling herself at 14. What a bunch of lies. She's not going to even know who Curry is, let alone know that he's associated with Elvis. Yeah, well, here's the deal. Curry knew Priscilla's father, okay? So, and it was well known at that point in time that Curry knew Elvis. So I think that you're just going off of Priscilla's story, and that's all. He was not meant to be kept by one woman. He loved all women. Now, I agree with that comment. I think that he was kind of made to be that way through Parker and through the society back in those days. Rebel rock and roller artists had to be accessible. At TCB Mama, LMFAOO, this is hysterical. Here you are on YouTube. Okay, yeah, so I've answered you before. Yeah, you read Child Bride. I got it. I don't think you really read Child Bride. Do your research better. Elvis instructed Priscilla to address her letters with pink envelopes so Joe can find them. Okay, I mean, none of that stuff makes much sense. So, but I do appreciate your comment and being on here. I think most of the people are going to disagree with you on this channel. But feel free to come back. At Judy Doherty, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Elvis cannot confirm anything. Priscilla is who she is. Lisa passed away. I know, very sad. Priscilla, Priscilla is who she is. Lisa passed away. Yeah, it is very sad that Lisa passed away, but I think a lot of it had to do with her mother. Unfortunately, I mean, the sins of the father, sins of the mother can certainly come down on the children, and Priscilla was a poor, poor, poor mother. She admitted it herself, so it's not me saying anything new. At Lydia Mattingly, it makes me so mad when I hear them praise her for what she's done. She's done nothing but pat her own pockets. That is the truth. She has patted, and lie over and over again. She was a horrible mother to Lisa, and she even stole. She collected money from the estate after she was let go, and she didn't do anything besides. She was nothing but a gold digger and a tramp. Okay, yep, that's about what I hear and see a lot on this channel. Folks just see right through Priscilla and don't like her. At Kimberly Strother, great video. Thank you, Kimberly. So far, y'all have been pretty honest. The people that defend Priscilla defend her pretty hard. And people that see through Priscilla and her facade, they don't need any convincing. I mean, you guys have done your own research as well, and you've seen her interviews, and you've seen how much how inaccurate, I gotta say inaccurate, untruthful. She's such a storyteller, and the storyteller always makes her look put herself in the best light with no blame. You know, at least she was halfway honest in her book, Elvis and Me, about her having the affair first in the marriage. At Barbara Banger, I'll tell you exactly how I feel. I loved Elvis more than anybody, but he was verbally abusive and physically abusive, not just from Priscilla, but from a lot of people who knew him, including the Memphis Mafia. So, the Memphis Mafia are guys, you know, and those guys talk to each other in a bit of a rough way. And, you know, they were employees of Elvis. And a lot of times they screwed up and didn't do a good job and messed things up, cost them a lot of money. And so, yeah, he's going to have a different way to, and you might call it verbally abusive. I might just call it standing my ground. Now, physically abusive, I've never heard he was physically abusive to the Memphis Mafia. And according to Priscilla, you know, he never hit her. One time they were pillow fighting and he got rough with her with the pillows. Maybe that's, you know, I don't know whether that's, you know, really abusive. And I don't even know how rough he got with a pillow fight. The other story about throwing the chair against the wall, she decided to put in the movie that the chair was thrown at her, and that's not the truth. It was thrown against the opposite wall, according to her first book. At Christ 1512, he wasn't very lonely at all. He had a very serious affair with Haley von Wistrom, then Primo. She even accompanied him to Paris. So many lies from Priscilla. Appreciate that. At Morgan, I can't pronounce that last name without messing it up, but such a pathological liar. She even lied about what she got when she got to the hospital the day Lisa Marie died. Yeah, and that's a good point. You know, and she pulled the plug on Lisa. And she pulled the plug on Lisa before Riley even had a chance to get there. And I bet you she did it because she thought she was going to get the entire fortune. She thought everything was going to be left to her. That's what I think. That's my opinion, and I wonder what you guys think. I need to do a video about that. But it was a quick decision. I mean, people come out of comas. People recover. They do. Priscilla didn't want to give her any time. She was trying to cover for the fact that when she heard Lisa had been rushed to the hospital, that it looked bad. Instead of going straight to the hospital to be by her dying daughter's side, she raced over to Lisa's home and ransacked the house looking for Lisa's will. At one point, she screamed at and threatened the maid who found Lisa and called on the woman to demand the whereabouts of Lisa's will. That is how little she cared for Lisa at the end. Then she claimed when interviewed that Lisa was already gone when she got to the hospital. She stopped during the TV interview right there and brushed away a fake little tear. The truth was that she was at the hospital a full 3 hours before Lisa died. The foul lie was yet another attempt to play the victim. I need to look into that story. I don't know whether that's the maid that put a story out about that. I haven't personally heard that. On another note, I would love for a sharp interview to ask her about the affair she had with the black gospel singer in Memphis, who she got pregnant by. In 1969. I think I know who you're talking about there. Jerry Schilling, her ever-faithful sidekick, found a doctor and drove her to and from the abortion. Elvis found out about it only after. Yeah, I mean, hard to tell with that. I mean, if there's no medical documents, I know there's stories out there, and I wouldn't necessarily put it past her either. I mean, heck, it was... she's not the most intelligent person. I think she's fairly dumb, in my opinion. Like, literally fairly dumb. Not a smart person. I know during the divorce documents, she said he was worth, like, 14500000567. It was some stupid number that was, like, in the billions or something like that. It was so off. I need to find that document, and then they corrected her on it, but she's just not book smart. Let's just say that. And maybe not common sense smart either, if you think about it. Which, I mean, do you blame her for telling all these lies if she's just not a very smart person? You know, I guess you can't. You can't fault somebody because she probably thinks she can get away with it. At Janice Fafalios, is everyone sure she wasn't pregnant? Yeah, thus forcing the marriage. I think that's a thought that's out there. It's possible. I mean, you know, you ladies know gestation periods can range between 36 and 42, 43 weeks, really, if a pregnancy goes long. And I've had 4 children Not myself personally with my body, but my family, my wife. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's possible. You know, it's possible that she was pregnant and they got married immediately, and that would match up. You know, potentially. Look at the wedding dress. He told his housekeeper he didn't want to marry her, but he seemed to have no choice. Very good point there, Janice. All right, well, this comment section is close to 4 hours long on this certain video. So I'm going to stop right here. We're going to do it in different parts. So I will try to get to all your comments, or as many as I possibly can. Keep commenting on other videos. I will certainly shine some attention to your comments, whether you're for Priscilla or versus Priscilla, or whether the video's about Anna Margaret or Susan Henning or anybody else. So I'll close with Pamela Tipson. She's a born liar. Why can't she tell the truth about Elvis? She's trying to make Elvis look bad. He was a good man, generous to generous to a T, fantastic in every way, and we will miss him forever. So stop the lies and leave him alone. All right, Pamela, thank you so much. Thank you, Elvis fans. Appreciate everybody on the channel. Please like, subscribe, share the video. If you can become a member, become a member. These videos do take time, and I would love to be able to spend more time in the future and do this full time. And right now, I've got a full-time job, plus I've run a couple other things as well. So it is pretty overwhelming to do videos all day and work as well. But you know what? I'm doing this for the love of Elvis and for my appreciation of you, the Elvis fans that want to keep his memory alive. So I'll leave you guys with JJVS2G1. She wants to be the only Presley writing on the name for money and fame. Look what she did to Lisa and her granddaughters. Now she's with Tom Jones for his wealth, of course. Karma's coming for you, Silla. All right, TCB, TLC. Till next time, this is Rare Elvis Photos on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok.